Hi, this is Jaya. Now we shall see the fourth part of the summary of Andrea Del Sarto by Robert Browning. Come, let's go to the poem. Well, may they speak, that Francis, that first time, and that long festal year at Fontainebleau. So he's talking about the time when he was in France, and this Francis is the king of France, and he says at that time, how they spoke well about me. Well, may they speak. That Francis, that first time, and the long festal year at Fontainebleau, that is that full year when we were in Fontainebleau, I surely then could sometimes leave the ground. I was considered very great, put on the glory. I was considered a very great painter, and I was in a glorious position. Raphael's daily wear, like how Raphael used to wear. Raphael is a great painter, I told you. He says, like what clothes Raphael used to wear, I used to wear them daily. In that humane great monarch's golden look, like how the king was, I was also like that. One finger in his beard or twisted curl over his mouth's good mark that made the smile. And whenever the king used to come and look with one finger in his beard, or when he was using his finger in the twisted curl, and good marks used to come because when he looked at my work, it made him smile. One arm about my shoulder, round my neck. He used to put his arm around my shoulder or on my neck. The jingle of his gold chain in my ear. He was so close to me. The king was very close to me. The gold chain used to be like he used to come so close to me that I could even feel his gold chain in my ear. I painting proudly with his breath on me. He used to stand close to me when I was painting. I could even feel his breath on me. All his court round him, seeing with his eyes. Such frank French eyes and such a fire of souls, profuse my hand, kept plying by those hearts. He used to be very close to me. The king admired my work, and all others around him, they were seeing in the same way he appreciated me, they also used to appreciate me. That is what seeing with his eyes is, like the king appreciated my work, and so the others in the court also, they were also like the king appreciating my work. Such frank French eyes and such a fire of souls, profuse my hand kept plying by those hearts. And as they kept on praising, my hand kept moving. Plying means moving. By those hearts, they had the heart to appreciate my work, and the more they appreciated, the more I created. In and best of all, this face beyond, this in the background, waiting on my work, and more than the praise of the king, more than the praise of the court people, I was very happy when this face is pointing to Lucretia, his wife, and he says, when this face was waiting for me, and because she appreciated my work, I loved her more. To crown the issue with the last reward. So, whatever I drew, whatever I painted, I wanted your comments to be like the crown, which is the last reward I wanted for all my work. A good time, was it not, my kingly days? So he says, I was living like a king there. It was a very good time, isn't it? He's asking for opinion. And had you not grown restless, but what happened is you became restless. You were not very happy. But I know it is done and past. You did not want me there. You wanted me to move. And he says, okay, fine. We moved away and that is gone. It was right. My instinct said. At that time when you said we will move from here, I had an instinct saying that what you're saying is correct. To live, the life grew golden and not grey. So he says, I thought, okay, what you're saying is really good. I thought we are going to go into the next golden phase. And I am the weak-eyed bat no sun should tempt out of the grange whose four walls make his world. Because I was like a bat which did not allow the sun to come and tempt him. Because I was inside a four wall and that was my world. So I thought when you wanted to move out, it will be better if I move out, I'll become more great. How could it end in any other way? Because I was in such a position, I was so crazy after you, and I did not know much about any other things. I was very happy in France. So I listened to whatever you said, and you knew that very well. How else it could have been? That is why when you said we will move away, I agreed to it. You called me and I came home to your heart. You said, come, we will move from here. And I thought that wherever you are, that is my home. That is, your heart is my home. The triumph was to reach and stay there. Since I reached it there, the triumph what is lost. He says, my victory was in reaching where I was there. And I already reached it. The king was appreciating me, everyone was appreciating me. So I had reached my success. So I don't think I lost anything there. What is lost? Let my hands frame your face in your hair's gold, you beautiful Lucretia, that I mind. Now he is asking her permission so that he can hold her face in his hands. He says, let my hands frame your face in your hair's gold, you beautiful. He says, Lucretia is so beautiful and you are mine. Rafael did this, Andrea painted that. I know. The great painters have painted more. The Romans is the better when you pray, but still the others virgin was his wife. See, the Romans is the better when you pray, but still the others virgin was his wife. When the Romans are going to better themselves every day, but still the others virgin was his wife. But you should understand that Lucretia has been the model for all his painting, and whoever buys a painting will hang on their houses or office or wherever they want, and when they look at it, they will be admiring the beauty of Lucretia in it as a virgin. But this virgin is my wife. That is what he's trying to say here. Men will excuse me. I am glad to judge both pictures in your presence. He says, men will excuse me when they come to know that you are my wife. But I am glad to say that what is pictures in their place is real in my place. Both pictures in your presence, clearer grows my better fortune, I resolve to think. So I have to only think about the fortune I have, because everyone can have only your picture, but I am your husband, you are my wife. I should be very happy to think of that. For do you know, Lucretia, as God lives, said one day Angelo his very self to Rafael. So he says, God knows, that is, he says one day Angelo, that is Michelangelo, will tell to Rafael, I have known it all these years. That is, Michelangelo will tell to Rafael that he knows that all these years, when the young man was flaming out his thoughts upon a palace wall for Rome, you see, too lifted up in heart because of it. So here he is saying, I am such a great artist that even Michelangelo would have praised about me to Rafael, saying, friend, there is a certain sorry little scrub. He is saying, there is a person who we have to feel sorry for him, goes up and down our Florence, none cares how. He is living in Florence. He is a very great artist, but no one knows it. Who were he said to plan and execute, as you are pricked on by your popes and kings? Only if he will plan and work, execute means work, as you are pricked on by your popes and kings, like how the popes and the kings are paying you and making you to do, this man is capable to do, would bring the sweat into that brow of yours. If he is going to be given the same money and the same work, he will make you to sweat. You will be, now you should understand that this is only an imaginary conversation which goes in his mind, thinking that Michelangelo will speak about him like this to Rafael. He says that Michelangelo will say this, Andrea Del Sarto can make Rafael sweat. To Rafael's, and indeed the arm is wrong. So now he says, I could have made Rafael sweat. And so now we understand that from the next line, the painting which was presented to him was a painting drawn by Rafael. And he says, and indeed the arm is wrong. I hardly dare, yet only you to see. Give the chalk here, quick. Thus the line should go. So he says, I already told you the arm is wrong. Now I dare to change it. So get me the chalk. I'll see whether the line should be changed. Ah, but the soul, he is Rafael. Rub it out. He says, no. If I try to make the arm perfect, the soul of the painting will go. And this is by Rafael. He has poured his soul into the painting. So don't want, rub it out. What I drew with a chalk, just rub it out. Still, all I care for, if he spoke the truth, what he, why who but Michelangelo? Do you forget already words like those? So he says, if only Michelangelo was to speak the truth about my painting, if really there was such a chance, so lost, is whether you are not grateful but more pleased. He says, but there is really no chance, it's a lost one. Already from the previous parts, we know that Rafael had died 5 years ago. And now he is saying, I don't have the chance of being appreciated by Michelangelo and Rafael, but in case if that had happened, I am very sure you will be more pleased. Well, let me think so. And you smile indeed. But just thinking that Michelangelo and Rafael are going to praise my work itself, I'm thinking and I'm happy. And he turns and he looks at Lucretia and he says, oh, you're also smiling hearing this. This hour has been an hour, another smile. So he says, now we understand for nearly 1 hour they're sitting near the window. And he says, in this 1 hour, I think this is a second smile